Hey, what up, guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome to a new episode of the FIFA 19 Ultimate Team Road to Glory. This is episode number 77, all the sevens today. And we will be continuing where we left off from last episode, or the last couple of episodes, where we started our weekend league journey. Now, we started terribly, and we sort of brought it back a little bit. So, I went from 1 and 2 to 6 or 7 and 3, something like that. Like, we've got 6 or 7 wins here at the moment. And it's basically time for us to push on through and try and get towards gold 3. That is what I want and that is what I need. I played those 3 games on Friday. Wasn't able to play at all Sunday. So it was just Saturday that I was able to get my games in. Which meant it was going to be the biggest rush I've ever had to try and get to where I need to be. So I needed to perform well and I needed to score goals. And I needed to score them quickly so that people would quit on me. That was the idea anyway. And we managed to make that work for us a couple of times in the last episode. That was a superb goal from Aubameyang. I turned him with the Berber spin, hit him with a La Croqueta, which literally drew the defender away, or got the ball away from the defender completely. And then look at the dribbling here, and the no-touch dribbling and stuff, in order to just shimmy past those defenders. It was beautiful. From the Arsenal striker, and that literally leads to a half-time rage quit from my opponent. Brilliant start to the day, brilliant start to the episode, and we know that we can push on, and we are yet up to, 7 wins now. So we can push on through, try and aim for the next rank in silver, and then try and rank for gold, and that's a nice team. That worried me. I saw Neymar, Hazard, Mbappe, Pogba, Ramos, Varane at the back, and I was like, oh my god, this guy has got a mega squad that I am not going to be able to compete against. However, Aubameyang turns the defenders nicely early on, and I bang that one into the roof of the net. No timing required, no finesse shot button pressed on that one. It was just a regular old smackaroony into the back of the net. Hazard manages to turn me though, and as soon as he did, I was like, goal, I know that's going to happen, and it's my bad for letting him turn me. You shouldn't let that happen, otherwise you will concede goals. Another greatly timed La Croqueta though from Neymar puts me 2-1 up against this guy, and it took until the first few minutes of the second half to do so. I noticed that he was really rushing with his defenders and putting in those crazy slide tackles and stuff, which meant that I'm going to utilize Croqueta because it's really going to be able to let me change lane, and whilst they slide through me, I'm already moved and I'm already gone. It just seemed to be the best way to go, and I really did sort of pull away right at the end of this match. Scored a couple of goals late on, and including that one from Pato, which was just beautiful. I don't know why I gave Pato number 50. I don't know why, because I didn't have enough good numbers left in my first 15 or so, and I didn't know what number to give him. Has he ever had a number that was up there, or what numbers he wear now? I'd guess he's probably got number 9 or 10 or something. But let me know if there's a high number that Pato's ever worn, and I'll switch his shirt to that. Because I also have my Aubameyang as 99, because that's how pacey he feels in game. That's why I've got my Aubameyang at 99. Neymar is of course my number 10, and I think Mahrez is number 8 and stuff like that. I've probably still got Heung-min Son sat on the bench with a decent number, although I don't really bring him on anymore. I've kind of got my substitutes on lockdown, so if you hadn't already seen it, I don't really show it, I guess. But when I'm in these games, I play until the first 10 or 15 minutes of the second half. Once that's elapsed, I switch it out and I change my team. So I bring Firmino off because he's always tired. He's done so much running. I want to bring someone fresh on. And I do it. And I'll have to show you in the next episode or something. But I do it so that I bring Firmino off and actually Fabinho off as well nowadays. And I bring on Guilavogui for Fabinho. So I've got a fresh, very similar CDM. Stats-wise, they're quite similar. And then for who do I bring on? I bring on Alex Pato, obviously, for Firmino, but I put Pato up front. I actually put Aubameyang out wide because it gives me a great distribution option to win headers and stuff against fullbacks as I'm pushing forward late game. And of course, he's got pace out there, and he could still hit a first-time finesse if I played it into him and he was cutting into the centre. Mahrez stays out wide, and then Neymar goes central cam, and I get so much success from him when that happens. So that's sort of my main goal, and that leaves me with one substitute, and that is if the game goes on super far and I want to bring Kante off, or maybe I bring Mahrez off to have some more firepower. But it's left me with pretty decent starting 11, decent substitutes. Pato's really come into it. And where I was sort of thinking, oh no, this might have been a bit of a mistake, and I spent a lot of money on him, it turns out that he's actually very, very good when you play him in that striker role, when he's got full fitness against people that are starting to tire. So he does well in those situations, and I have to say I really like him. So moving on into our next match then. This was a case of the opposites, where I got super overconfident just looking at that squad, because I was like, what is that? Like, I don't understand that team, why you got those players or playing in that formation. And I had to go 1-0 up after 11 minutes, and then I was like, yeah, I'm going to get a win here. I'll probably get a rage quit as well, especially when I volley it home with Aubameyang in the 24th minute. I almost expected him to pause it and go right there. But what I really didn't take into account, that actually, when I look back at his players, there were some really good ones there, and it for some reason just didn't spark my eyes a great team. And that goal from Coman there should not have gone in, by the way. That was a left-footed weird finesse shot. Like, fair enough if you get through and score with Ben Yedder right there, but the one from Coman was just like, and then he's free again, and he smashes it past me, to be fair. That's a great strike. And I don't know how I went from 2-0 up to 3-2 down instantly. And then I was I was caught off guard, so then I had to really get back on it. I score a nice one with Neymar to equalise. 63 minutes on the clock. As you can see, Aubameyang's out wide now. I play it into Pato, who is the sub, and I think it goes in off one of the defenders in the end. However, Pato runs off celebrating, and I am 4-3 up. Neymar then, I mean, he just pulls the defender away. I guess he was expecting me to pass it across, but when you give me that much space, what am I going to do? I'm going to shoot, and I'm going to score, and I go 5-3 up in a game which I just wasn't comfortable in. And then, like, he literally scores another one, and it took me a while to... I just had to compose myself, keep things calm. I played it forward here, got in the box, and I was like, okay, I'm too far in now. I can't just keep possession. I've got to go for the shot, and eventually we worked it, got a 6th goal, and ended up winning 6-4. But I don't really think I deserved that one, just off of looking at the end results and stuff. That guy was good, and his team was better than I originally thought it was when I looked at it. So that's 11 wins. That's good. That pushes us up to we get 2,000 qualification points. That is, of course, always my complete and utter minimum barrier that I would really want to play to, so that we can at least enter the next weekend league. Next match I go into, I see Pedro. I see a weird out of position Martial at striker, and I'm like, yeah, do you know what? I've got a better team than this. And again, a little bit too overconfident. But I do go 1-0 up from kickoff, literally from the very first kickoff, and I hardly felt like he even tried to defend me. So I was pretty confident and positive that we were going to win this match. And then we go 2-0 up right there. He pauses it after 10 minutes, and I was like, yeah, for some reason I didn't feel like this guy had his head in the game. Maybe he is already raging a little bit at the game, but 11 wins becomes 12, and we go on into our next one. Don't forget, since the last episode where we lost 1 right at the end, we've not lost really since then. That was the only real loss that we've had since a couple of days ago, when we lost 2 on the bounce at the very start. However, this was going to be a test. I always struggle against Suarez. He's so goddamn good on this game. And I don't see enough people using him. There's not enough love for Suarez out there. I don't know if he's stupid expensive or something, but he's very, very good. Now, he wins my opponent a penalty. He moves his... he changes his run-up as well. So I was like, okay, I'm not really sure where you're going to go. But I do save it. But it falls straight to Memphis. He whips it straight across, and Coutinho just heads it in. And I'm like, well, I saved the friggin' penalty. Why are you rewarding him for missing a pen? I don't know. But anyway, it didn't take long for Aubameyang to score a header from a corner to get me back in. If you can score a header, I can score a header. But then this was stupid. I pull that defender out there, giving Coutinho way too much space. And we all know how great Coutinho is at whipping a ball into the back of the net from outside the box in real life. So, of course, he can do it nicely on FIFA. And I go into the halftime break 2-1 down, thinking that this is probably where my next loss is going to come from. But I've left it straight from kickoff here, which my opponent had from the second half. He had the kickoff. I won it back off of him. Play a lovely ball through to Mahrez, who just strikes it. Green time finesse, whips it round the goalkeeper. Lovely. 46 minutes on the clock. I've got a goal. I'm back in this. We've equalised. and I'm still rolling the footage, guys. So he's either going to score, or I'm going to take the ball off of him, play it through, Riyad Mahrez, back to Aubameyang, back to Neymar. Neymar plays it into Alba, and he just strikes it. And like in 48 minutes and 48 seconds, so 3 minutes and 48 seconds into this half, I've scored 2 goals and gone from losing to being in the lead. Alba then plays it across, and what a great ball and finish that is. Aubameyang doing a great bit of work there to put that one in, and Pato really good positioning and finishing to it to be able to stick that one past the goalkeeper. However, you couldn't write this guy out. He had lots of good reds on the bench, and he brought them all on. Pjanic was one of them, and he managed to score against me right there. Pjanic then plays it through to Mbappe. Mbappe strikes, and I was so livid with my goalkeeper for not saving that, or for saving it into the back of his own net. Terrible. But what a La Croqueta that is, and what a strike from Neymar in the 87th minute to basically win me this game. So we were able to win 5-4. I think I deserved it in the end, but that was a very tough one. A very, very close game. GG's to my opponent, and we're now up to 13 wins. I just need one more, and we get matched up against this squad here, which I've got to say is lovely. He's got 2 awesome reds there. High-rated Lukaku and Van Dijk. He's got prime Zola. He's got loads of UCL cards. He's got an informed Mertens up front, so I'm assuming that he just likes doing SBCs and getting those packs, and got himself an untradeable Mertens. But what a team he had. It took me a few, I can't remember what the time was. It took me a while to get into this game, but I did go 1-0 up. And then Zola strikes. That's a great goal from Zola. No finesse shot there. That was just powerful. Past the goalkeeper in the opposite corner that I thought it was going to go in. And we're at the halftime break. It is 1-1. A tough game. I didn't know if I was going to come out with the win at the end of this one. And then a good save from Szczesny, but I was unable to clear it. I think I slide tackled my goalkeeper as opposed to the ball. And Lukaku just sticks it in the back of the net. 2-1 to my opponent. Neymar then. LB fake shots past the defender. Croquetas past him, and that's always going to be a goal. You will not believe the amount of times I've scored those goals. Well, you've probably seen it because I've showed you all the footage. And yeah, it was just, I love it. It's my favourite skill move. And then, well, I don't even think that one was timed, but we turned it around in the 81st minute, 82nd minute, I was able to score. He then went full on all-out attack, but it was easy for me to just keep the ball up his end of the pitch. And I get my 3-2 win, which gets me gold 3, and from going 1-2 to then going 13-1 is quite the turnaround. I'm not gonna lie. That took around 4 to 5 hours on Saturday afternoon to go from 1-2 up to 14 wins. So very, very happy with how we've turned that one around. In terms of like contributions and stuff, Neymar is killing it with ridiculous contributions for the club. Kante's got lots of assists for a defensive midfielder. Bobby Firmino, that's 300 contributions for him. And then we're up to not a positive, but an even goals to game ratio with Aubameyang, plus a whole bunch of assists too. So I am really starting to love, I've always loved Firmino and Fabinho, but I'm really starting to love Neymar, Aubameyang, and even Mahrez. In 35 games, Mahrez has now got 30 contributions, and if you remember how slow we started with him, it means that he is starting to fire on all cylinders, which is brilliant news. And it's so good to see that my main front four, so Mahrez, Neymar, Firmino and Aubameyang, have all got crazy goal to game ratios or contribution to game ratios, which means that we are scoring loads of goals in our games on FIFA 19 in the weekend league. So that has been the episode for today, guys. We reached our target of gold 3 after such a poor start to the weekend league. We really turned it around, and I'm very happy about that. Smash a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Have a lovely day, most importantly. I'll catch you next time, guys. Peace.